And we're going to start with this question. Now, I've already punched it in this morning. There it is. Now, I've got it in order. So what I want everybody to do right now, and I'll slide it up. There's the first 25 numbers. I want everybody to type this in your calculator. So go ahead and start it. And I did show y'all how to find the mean and the standard deviation on your calculator, correct?
Yes,
First
sir.
variable statistic. What did you say, Ms. Poor? Did you say yes?
Yes, sir. I just said
Thank
yes.
you, Ms. Poor. I didn't want to cover up. I know Mr. King said yes, but I didn't want to cover you up. I don't want to, what do you call it? Discourage any of my three musketeers to interact with me, because I doubt very seriously the weaned on the pickles in the class will not step up. They're asleep, eating breakfast. That's all right. They do this to their other classes. I guess they hate their other teachers too. Now, I put them in order for y'all. You're welcome. What?
I'll be more interactive after Sunday. I quit my job.
Oh my goodness, why'd you quit your job?
Because I'm taking anatomy too, and I am struggling.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, your priorities are set right. Where did you work, Miss Glenn?
Anderson County Disability Board.
Oh my. That's on McGee Road, isn't it, out there where DHEC is? Well, that's depressing. So you probably have a better outlook on life, because some of that can be kind of depressing.
It is. Right now, a lot of my patients have COVID. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, if I had to have a choice between doing social work and digging a ditch, I would take digging a ditch any day. Because I don't have, like, especially with parents that don't take care of their kids or stuff like that, I can't handle that.
I thankfully don't deal with that part of it. I help them like balance checkbooks, pass out medications.
Oh, okay.
Clean houses.
So it's not quite as depressing.
No, not quite.
Okay. Well, I know one thing. I had to go to that building one time for DHEC when I was putting in my septic tank at my house, and I was doing it myself. And I had said I'd never set foot in that building again.
Yep.
Lord have mercy. It's about as depressing as going to circuit court or traffic court. You ever been to traffic court?
Yeah.
People show up in their pajamas.
Yep.
No wonder. And that's the way the government likes to keep everybody, you know.
Oh,
keep them stupid. Keep them stupid and ignorant, and that way it's easier to control. Okay, I'm going to move it up. Move it up to 26. There we go. Well, I'm trying. Hold on. There we go. All right, punch those in. And then I want you to find the mean and the standard deviation with the first variable statistic. That's X bar and SX. And then I want you to look at it with me. Look at my answers as soon as I scroll this up. Look at my answers and see what you come up with. Now, is this a test question if you cut down the numbers to 15? Yes. So I want you to be able to do these four questions after you plot everything. I want you to, be able to do what we're going to do. Please let me know, and you don't have to just put your virtual hand up when you type in number 50, please, and leave it up so I'll know how many people are done with copying the numbers down. Now, for those people that don't want to interact with me, all you got to do is hit the button with your hand one time. That's all I'm asking. Okay? I know it's interaction, and I know that you're anti-interaction with me, but please just click on the button with the hand at the top of the screen and click it when it's yellow. Leave it alone. Thank you. That lets me know that you're done with typing in 50. And then I'll tell you, after enough people, I'll tell you to turn it off, but don't just leave it up. And if you're not participating, if you're not typing it in, go ahead and put your hand up anyway, because I don't want to leave anybody behind. So just put your hand up either way, if you're finished typing them in or if you're not participating. I won't know either way. Okay, we got maybe 4 more people. Give y'all a few more minutes. And a few more. Or if you just want to write them down, you can write them down. Take a picture of them. Okay, that's, I don't know how many. Let's see, we got 17 in the room and 14 are finished. Those 3 remainders, if you could take a picture of it or write them down right quick. I don't even know if those 3 are participating. Dorsey, Moon, and Harley, are you still punching in, or are you there, or you went back to sleep, or what? Oh, Miss Owens just came in. Okay. Okay, they're not responding, so go ahead and put your hands down and we'll move on.
I've been in.
Oh, what?
I said I've been in.
Why did you not? What, you just popped? Okay.
No,
I'm sorry.
I promise. I came in at like 8:06 because my computer was dead, but I've been here.
That's fine. That's fine. I just, for some reason, you popped in down there with those 3 people that I don't know why, but anyway. All right. All right. Here is the mean and the standard deviation. So check your mean and standard deviation, and go ahead and take your hands down, Miss Anderson and Mr. King. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate my numbers for my standard deviations down here, so I don't have to do it with a calculator. My washer is out of wampus. I think I got too many towels in there. Starting to make noises. Equals the mean plus the standard deviation plus the standard deviation, F4. I'm going to copy that 3 places to the right, and mean minus the standard deviation, alternate F4, and I'm going to copy that 3 places to the left. Okay, I don't know if y'all can hear my washer, but hold on just a second. All right, so okay, I guess it's okay. Did y'all hear it like beating in there?
Yeah.
You don't want to talk.
Sound like it's fighting.
I'm sorry, what?
Sound like it's fighting itself right now.
Actually, that's That's my cats beating up on each other. No, I'm just kidding. All right, now if you look, I'm spreading these out a little bit so you can actually see the numbers, okay? Because they're going to ask you like to go to the 4th decimal point. All right, so here we go. I'm going to write these numbers down under my standard deviation right here. Let's see if I can spread this out a little bit. And then I'll make it bigger. All right, the middle is 0.84. 0.84. And then 0.9079. 0.9079. And then 0.9758. 0.9758. And then 1.0437. 1.0437. And on the left-hand side, 0.7721 and 0.7042, 0.6363. Okay, now we have our standard deviations. So if you're doing this problem on homework, you don't need to do everything on this one because it's too many numbers. Just do the mean and the standard deviation, and then draw your empirical rule. Of course, you don't have to draw it if you print those out and, run copies for those, 3 or 4 people that's going to do that. And this is normal, and that's 95%. And I know I do this every single time. And the reason I do this is because it's for your benefit. After you see me draw this about 20 times, even the people that don't copy it and don't do it, they will remember it. So I'll even get the lazy ones. And yes, you are lazy if you can't print out a curve and print it out on a, Xerox machine or a printer. You are pretty lazy. Okay, there you go. Now, the questions it will ask are, let's go to the question. Determine the sample standard deviation weight. The sample standard deviation weight, it says round to 3 decimal places, is, I don't forgot what let's see, what is it? 0.069. 0.069. And you feel good about yourself. Okay? I'm just going to, I don't understand. Excuse me. They got 0.068. What did I get? Oh, I can't read. It's right. It's 0.068. I went too far. Sorry. All right. So anyway, next. Does the empirical rule apply to this graph? If you graph these, yes, you get a what? A somewhat bell curve. If you get a bell curve with your data, then yes, you can use the empirical rule. So the histogram is approximately bell-shaped, so the empirical rule can be used. Okay, here's your first question. Use the empirical rule to determine the percentage of candies between 0.704 and 0.976. 0.704 and 0.976. So somebody tell me the percentage. 95%, Hubert. That's right, class. Thank you for the interaction. Appreciate it. Y'all suck. 95. Now, what does this say right here? What's this word right here say? Actual. Can somebody tell me what they think actual means in this context?
Coming in on secure
Sorry.
channel.
Let me turn that off. Can somebody tell me what actual means?
For this specific situation, using the numbers given.
Yes. You're going to have to count. You're going to have to count. So go back to your list. Go back to, it takes me a few screens to turn off my, okay. Go back to your list up here. I'm going back over here, and I'm going to type between 704 and 976. I'm going to count between 704 and 976. $47 out of 50. 47 out of 50. Now, somebody take, I'll do it, because y'all not going to tell me the answer anyway.
I think it's 48.
Is it 48? Okay, 48. And take your handy dandy calculator. I'm trying to find mine. And no, don't tell me, because if I asked y'all what is 48 divided by 50, you wouldn't tell me. So don't say a word. But when I go pull up the calculator, you tell me. So no, don't say a word. 48 divided by 50. 96%. So you go over to your handy dandy homework question and you type in 96. And you feel good about yourself. Thank you, Mr. King. Now it says, use the empirical rule to determine the percentage of candies with weights more than 0.908. So where is 0.908? I'm going to take my handy dandy blue highlighter. 908 is right here. So what is above 908? To the left or to the right?
To the right.
To the right. So I'm going to highlight everything to the right. And that means you're going to add up those three percentages. You're going to add up 13.5, 2.5, and that gives you 16%. So then you go back to the handy dandy homework and you type in 16%. And then they're going to ask you to actually count more than 0.908. So you go back over to the handy dandy list, which I can't pull up right now. There we go. Well, there we go. And what numbers are above 0.908? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take your handy dandy calculator, and 9 divided by 50 is 18%, and you go to your homework question and you type in 18%. Now, those 4 questions are test questions. Narrow this down to 15 or 20 or less than 20. Yes, I'm not going to give you one with 50. Does everybody understand what we did on that problem? Well, the 3 people that interact with me. Okay,
Yes,
y'all
sir.
understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Miss Gravina, you're not making too much of a, you're not giving me much, Miss Gravina.
Well, all these people come walking through here.
I want you to holler it out to the top of your lungs. I want you to scream it out.
Why do I have to holler?
They think you lost your mind, wouldn't they?
Oh, they would.
Look at that girl over there. She's talking to her computer. All right. I think nowadays, Miss Gravina, I think talking to your computer is like people at the grocery store talking on their phone with their earpiece. You think they're talking to themselves. So you can talk to your computer, Miss Gravina. All right.
Well,
All right. So that's a homework question, and you got 4 test questions right there that could be on the test. So just letting you know about that. Let me ask you, did we cover, I've got several questions that were sent to me. Let me pull those up right quick. Out of 3.2, because 3.2 is going to make up a good portion of your test. So did we go over one like this? Did we go over one like that with the empirical rule? Yes or no? Because this is a test question.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Butcher. I could tell that was your voice. All right. So we take out our handy dandy empirical rule curve. So those 3 or 4 that actually did it, go ahead and pull it out. No, I don't want to update. All right. So what is the mean and the standard deviation? Well, when you see this question, when you see that in a question right there, mean and standard deviation, you know what that means? That means draw the damn curve. That's what it means. Now, if you don't have to draw the curve, if you did what I told you to do, you just have it right there. So whenever you see has a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 20, or mean of 5 and a standard deviation of 1, you're going to draw that curve. Okay, unless you just don't want to get it right. All right, so 100 and standard deviation is 20, so that's going to be 120, 140, 160, 80, 60, and 40. So I'm going to blow that up now because I got to color it because I like to color. I really only do this for y'all since I'm dedicated. What do you call it? Dedicated educator. That's what I am. There we go. And of course, the yellow is right here. And the red, where's my red marker? Is right here. And I tell you right now, there's 2 or 3 questions like this on the test. So that takes care of the directions. When you draw your curve, that takes care of that. So what percentage of people have an IQ score between 80 and 120? Between 80, so I'm going to take my blue marker, between 80 and 120. So that'd be this area right here. Now, I'm not going to say that you have to be the smartest person in the world, but if I give you this question on the test, please, if you miss it, don't tell anybody, because you're telling me you can't add 34 and 34. If you draw a picture like I just did, they want to know what's the percentage between 80 and 120, and it's 68. See, if you draw a picture, it makes a whole lot of sense. But I understand some of y'all invented the empirical rule. I'm sorry, I don't know where 80 came from. Where did 80 come from? I'm on drugs. 68. There we go. All right. 40, less than 40 or greater than 160. Less than 40, I'm going to do orange. Less than 40 and greater than 160. What's 15 cent and 15 cent? 30 cent,
30.
Hubert. Thank you, class. Thank you, Mr. Butcher. And what percentage has an IQ score greater than 140? So I'm going to use the last color I got. Well, I don't have another color, so I'm going to have to pick magenta. Greater than 140. And what's greater than 140? 2.5. You know, I actually had somebody ask me this question personally. They were like, I have no idea how to do this. I said, well, show me your curve. Huh? They didn't even draw the curve. There is no way that you can sit there and do this problem without drawing the curve. Y'all just don't listen. I mean, not y'all in here, just students. Y'all just don't listen. All right, how about, let's see, we just did that one. These are the questions that have been sent most. I know that y'all don't send me any questions, but out of 3.2. Now, this question is confusing. This is not a test question. How many of you have seen this in your homework? Did you think it was confusing? All right.
No.
Do you know what you have to do on this problem? You have to actually deduce. Okay, that's the easiest way to explain it. And what do you mean by deduce? All right. Look at the standard deviation. What did I tell you standard deviation meant? Layman's terms, what did I tell you that standard deviation meant? Started with an S. And nobody listened to me. Standard deviation does anybody remember what I said? It's basically equal to the what? Y'all don't remember me saying spread? Okay, then I must not have told y'all. I left y'all out intentionally. Okay, or I forgot to tell you. The standard deviation is the spread. So if you have a big standard deviation or a large standard deviation, that means that the numbers are going to be spread out wide. Everybody with me? If you have a small standard deviation, that means the numbers are going to be narrow. The spread is going to be narrow. So with that rule right there, I want you to look at the examples that they give you. Somebody tell me who has the highest standard deviation. Which one has the highest standard deviation?
4.
4.
Okay, so Roman numeral 4 is going to have the largest X value because of its large spread. Which one has the smallest standard deviation?
1.
1. And Roman numeral 1 is going to have the smallest X values. So look at your charts and tell me which one has the largest X values and the smallest X values. That means I want y'all to say something.
Is it A and D, or maybe C?
C has the largest X values from 0 to what?
120.
Okay, who has the smallest values?
B. I can't see the
D,
numbers.
0 to 65.
Okay.
So you can match up B with 1, Roman numeral 1, and you can match up C with Roman numeral 4. Now this is very complicated how they do this. This is one of the most complicated problems. And if I had a one-way communication with MyLabs Plus, I would tell them that this is a stupid question the way it's set up because of the way they're doing it right here. Okay, so A or B is going to be your smallest, is going to be Roman numeral 1. And see, I get confused here because I'm trying to mix Roman numerals with, or am I the only one that thinks this is confusing? C goes with Roman numeral 4. Am I the only one that thinks this is confusing? It's not confusing. The math is not confusing. Putting the answer in is confusing. Or am I the only one that thinks that? Nobody's going to say anything. Y'all suck.
No, it is.
All right. Thank you, Mr. King. Now,
This setup is annoying because
yeah, it's very
all
annoying.
the graphs look the same, but then the values under are not.
And you have to look at the values under.
Right.
Now, I want you to draw, you know how I draw a red line on the center? C-E-N-T-E-R. I want you, forget about B and C because you're done with B and C. Where is the center of this graph right here? Tell me where the center is. I'll blow it up for you. Where would you say the center is?
65.
And there's 2. So A is 2. Now, remember when I said deduction? What's the only one that hasn't been used? 1, 2, 3. And that should be your answer. That's how you do that problem. You look at the X values for 1 and 2. Then you look for the middle for 65. And then the one that's left is the last answer. This is a worse problem than the 50 number problem. At least the 50 number problem, the only problem I got there is time. This one, I would never put this on a test. Never. Because it's confusing. And it's not confusing. The math is not confusing. The actual punching in the answer is confusing. So that's why I wanted to show you that problem. And you see other people sent it in. So this is 3.211. Okay, this is not very difficult. So I want you to type these 4 numbers in your calculator. And I want you to actually do this problem because it is a test question. There you go. Give you a minute. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to type it in with you. so I can show you where everything is, just to give you a rehash of, you know, how to use your calculator. Now, those of you that weren't here the other day, make sure you hit second 0 and go down to diagnostic. I don't know if I showed y'all this. If I did, I'm showing it to the people that wasn't here. Hit diagnostic, put it on diagnostic on, hit enter, and then hit enter again. Now, you don't have to do this every time. You only have to do this one time on your calculator, and it enables your screen to give you all the answers that it can give you. On the older calculators, like the TI-83, it helps to put that on there because the TI-83 will not give you the 5-number summary unless you turn the diagnostic on. All right, now I'm going to hit stat, edit. I'm going to, well, let's see, 233, 416, 420. I did this problem for yesterday's class. And I'm going to hit stat. And I'm going to hit calculate. First variable statistic. Calculate. And what numbers am I looking for? X bar and SX. So I'm going to write these down with you because I gotta remember to show you. I'm going to write down X bar is equal to 382 and SX is equal to 100.6479011. Now, somebody tell me the relationship again between the standard deviation and the variance.
The standard deviation is the square root of the variance.
Okay, what's the other direction?
The variance is the standard deviation squared.
Exactly. Write that down. If you didn't write it down before, I'm going to write it down for you. I thought I went over it, but if I didn't, remember, I got 4 probability classes. So the square root of the variance is equal to the standard deviation. And the standard deviation raised to the second power is equal to the variance. So I had to throw away that black one. I've got to order another box of black markers. I'm down to my last 2. So I'm going to raise the standard deviation to the second power to get my variance because they might ask for that on the test. So I'm going to take 100.6479011. And I'm going to raise it to the second power. 10130. 10,130 is your variance. Is that a standardized test question? Yes. They will give you one of these and they will ask for the other. Remember, the square root of the variance is equal to the standard deviation. The standard deviation squared is equal to the variance. And sometimes they will ask you this, they'll say this, what is, that's what they'll say. That's what a standardized test will say. What is the S squared? And given they give you the standard deviation is equal to 5. Therefore, the answer is 25 because you would raise that to the second power to get the variance. The variance is also called S squared. Okay, so that's another test question. This right here is another test question right there. So 10,130. And the standard deviation, round to 2 decimal places. Standard deviation is 100.65. Now, I love this as a test question. Somebody tell me why I like this one as a test question. Nobody's going to take a guess. Nobody. Short and sweet.
There's only 4 numbers.
Exactly. Short and sweet. Okay? It's short and sweet. The actual, now, I would not give you 5-number summary on 4 numbers because you can't get. But 5-number summary, I will ask you, and it'll have more numbers. Okay? But I like this one because this is the kind of question I would put on a test. Let's look at 3.1. Number 37/13. First of all, is this a test question? If it has to do with the mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, standard deviation, and 5-number summary and box plot, yes. And this is a test question. So let's do it. I'm going to do it on the, y'all go ahead and type it in, and I'm going to do it on the Excel spreadsheet. Go ahead. I'm going to give you a minute. Now, this one just came in, so we haven't done this one. So go ahead and type it in your calculator. What is it about kids not listening to their parents? Why don't y'all listen to your parents? Mine don't. I have told my daughter for years that always try to do business with local businesses, blah, 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 because it helps, it helps your area to invest in local businesses. And she writes on Facebook, anybody got any suggestions about banks? I'm moving back to Anderson, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand it. Local bank. You go with a local bank. You don't go with a big conglomerate. You go with a local bank when you can. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm venting. I just don't understand y'all. Why do y'all do that? Parents try to teach their kids something, they don't listen, and then what happens? 5 or 10 years down the road, what does the kid say? I wish I'd done what my parents said. Y'all suck. And I get nothing. Come on, Mr. Butcher, you gotta say something.
I don't got anything right now.
What? What,
I don't
Mr.
got
Butcher?
anything right now.
You working? Are you concentrating?
I'm trying to.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm bothering you. Okay. Mr. Butcher's a good guy. He can take it. There we go. All right, so here's our problem. The reason I'm doing it on spreadsheet is because y'all can see it. And when I get that new software that I asked for 3 weeks before the semester started, I actually came this close this morning to taking my credit card and buying it. But I said, no, I better not, because as soon as I buy it, they're going, oh, we're ready to install that software. So I didn't. I get tired of waiting on bureaucrats. Okay, here we go. I don't know what they're asking, so we're going to do everything. Mean, median, mode, range, mid-range. Go ahead and do the 5-number summary, variance, and standard deviation. I'm going to go down here and do the 5-number summary, which consists of the mean, the first quartile, the second quartile, which is the median, third quartile, and the max. So this is several test questions right here. And this is several test questions. Well, this is one test question right here. And I don't know why my menu is disappearing. There we go. All right. So are they in order? Yes. Mean is the summation. How many we got? 10 divided by 10. You got to put the division symbol there, dork. Divided by 10. Median. Dang old 5 and 6. Equals parentheses this number plus this number divided by 2. Mode, I don't really care. Is it 50? Range is equal to the highest minus the what? Lowest. Mid-range is equal to, oh Lord, the highest plus the lowest divided by 2. Variance, I'm going to take this number minus this number, alternate F4, copy that down, square it. This is the way I would do it on a test. You see how I'm doing everything and I'm not labeling anything. I'm not spending a lot of time. Summation. And that's equal to this divided by 9 and equals this raised to the 0.5 power. Equals that, equals that, and equals that. Everybody with me? Yeah, Hubert, I'm with you. Good. Glad the class is with me. Good. Appreciate y'all interacting. Are you finished concentrating now, Mr. Butcher? Or are you still concentrating on your work?
Yeah, I'm done concentrating.
Okay, good. Okay, so here we go. What's next? Box plot. Let's do a box. Oh, we got to do the first and second quartile. Where is the median? The median is between these two numbers. So how many numbers are above and below that white cross right there? How many? I think Miss
5.
Pollard held up 5. You got to hold it up where we can see you, like, praise the Lord. Okay, 5. Is that odd or even? It's odd, so you just pick the middle number. And we'll color that one bleu. Parlez-vous français? Je m'appelle, you bet. And that would be equal to that number. And that would be blue. And we'll do rouge right here. Do some kind of rouge. And there is your 5-number summary. Now, what other number do you need to do the 5-number summary? You also need the mid-range. Equal to that number right there. So you're ready to go. So you go to your handy dandy curve that 2 of you have done. And I'm going to write down everything. Okay, mean is 50 and the standard deviation is 20. I'm going to do 21. And the quartiles are 10, 40, 50, 55, and 90 with a mid-range of 50. And I've got a color blue. Where's my light blue? The reason I have to use light blue is because the dark blue looks almost black. And 50 is yellow. I don't like that yellow. I'll use this yellow. And rouge. I don't like to use red, so I'm going to use pink. Okay, so here we go. Our mean is 50. And our standard deviation is 21, so that's going to be 71, 92, and I have no idea, 113 or 103. Which one is it? 113? Somebody check my math, please. 50 minus 21 is what, 39? 39 minus 21 is 18? I don't know. What is it? 18? And 18 minus 21 is -3. Somebody check my numbers, please. Nobody's going to check them. I don't even know why I'm asking y'all.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, Mr. Butcher. And of course, that's normal. And that's 95%. And of course, this is unusual. This is unusual. And this is an outlier. And the reason you do this is because now I've done this so many times with y'all that when you see a test question and it says using the empirical rule with a mean of standard deviation, what is the number is 52? And you would say it's normal. 52 is normal. 52 is right there. So it's normal. And if you ain't got that yet, I don't believe I'm going to be able to help you too much because I've been doing it now for what, a week? So anyway, there's your number line with 10 down here and 90 here and 50 here. And of course, I think it's going to be 10 to 50, so that's going to be 30. And add 20, that's going to be 70. And 10 to 30 is 20, so half of that would be 20. Yeah, you can be able to 40, 60, and 80. Now you could go further if you want to, But once I get to where it's starting to get kind of cramped between, wait a minute, there. When I get kind of cramped here, I quit. So take my blue pen and put 40. Take my yellow pen and do 50. And then take my pink pen and do 55. And there is your box plot. And the center, the reason I say center is because it sounds like I'm saying center. Center is right there. So it looks like you got a little bit of a hump on this side because most of your data is right there. It's a little bit wider than the other side. So not much. It's still a normal type curve, but it looks like it's a little bit on the left here because this is wider than this little piece. Now, if it was both the same length, it would be a normal curve. Question, gripe, complaint. Now, how many test questions do you have here? Well, this is one, the 5-number summary with the box plot, that's one test question. This empirical rule and asking you a number like 52, that's 2 test questions. This right here, you got 3, 4, 5, about 5 test questions because sometimes they'll ask you to do 2 numbers like the mean and the range, or sometimes they'll ask you for the median and the mid-range. So you've got about 3 questions right here, maybe 4. So 5, 6, about 6 questions you got with just one problem. Any questions? Okay, now let's go look at the test. I think y'all are ready. Let's go to our handy dandy course. Go to, let's see. No, that's the wrong one. Go to course tools, assignment manager. I don't think I have it loaded yet, do I? Yes, I do. There she is. And we're going settings for class, because I always do this first. Today, today is what? February the what?
The 18th.
18th. And I'm going to give y'all, and make sure everybody covers up their ears so they can ask me this question 5 or 6 times next week. And I will not say anything back. 18th, I'll give y'all till the 23rd. And I will block access if you leave the test. 90 minutes, save and assign. So now everybody, now I'm going to go to the homework. And I'm going to go to change dates. And I'm going to go 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 3.1, 3.2, 3.4, and 3.5. And we'll make that due. Today is the 18th, so that will be due on Tuesday. So now all you hammy people, all you people running around in circles, you've got what you want now. Okay? So hope you're happy. I'll still get 3 emails next week. When's it due? I will not extend it. So those of you that's waited until today, since I gave the dates out, you're on your own. If you make it, great. If you don't, do not ask for an extension. Now I'm going to go and do a preview for y'all right quick so you can see what you're looking at. Let me go back to assignment manager and preview. Now, let me tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to tell it to you, if you leave this area, if you make this small and you go out here and hit homework, it's going to shut down the test. It's going to send me a message that basically says you went outside the area. Does everybody understand what I just said? Okay. After the first time, I'll reset it. The second time, I'll dock points. Third time, you're not going to take the test. So make sure of 2 or 3 things. If you're going to cheat, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, make sure you have a computer beside you or something beside you if you're going to cheat. All right? I'm going to go ahead and tell you that because I'm not going to set it after 3 times. I'm not going to reset it. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now. I'm talking 10%. Most of y'all do what you're told and do it the way you got to. Look at there. You got an hour and a half. I'm only supposed to give y'all 50 minutes. I give y'all 90 minutes. I give you 3 attempts. I give you 90 minutes. I give you extra 50 minutes. Everybody gets an extra 40 minutes. Sorry, an extra 40 minutes. You get 3 attempts. The computer will take the highest of the 3. So if you make a 98 on the first one, you don't have to take it 2 more times. It'll be 9800. The computer will take the 98. All right? Is any questions? You have 5 days to do it. Does anybody have any questions about anything? You see that there's 34 questions on the test. So that means that you're going to have 34 questions. The test is going to be similar. It's not going to be exactly the same. Each question has a pool. Each math question, not the bonus question. Each question has a pool, P-O-O-L. There's probably 5 to 10 questions for each question. They algorithmically rate, they reorder. So you're not going to get the same test. Does anybody have any questions? Now, the hour and a half covers people that don't need extra time and people that do need extra time. 40 minutes is enough extra time. I give you 10 to 14 bonus questions based on questions sent to me or handouts. Here's the first one. Why does Hubert not entertain extra credit, extra points, or dropping any grades during the last weeks of the semester? D. He awards me extra points for questions like these, and on each unit test, he drops the 2 lowest what? Grades. So don't come to me at the last week of class asking me for extra points or extra credits. That's not supposed to. There we go. So look, compute the range. Boom. That's simple. Let's see. What is it? 36 from 165 would be what? 129? Something like that. In a certain city, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is Z-scores. Who is relatively taller? This is just like the Shaq and LBJ. It's even relatively taller. So you should be able to do this one. I'm not going to do it because it takes too much time, and I only got like 8 minutes before y'all start convulsing. Determine whether, okay, this is the one that students miss. Weight of a rock. Do you count weight or do you measure weight?
Measure. So
measure is continuous, right? So somebody needs to put continuous. Which one is it? It's either alpha or Charlie. And I think it is alpha because it's not countable. Next. Does Hubert replace your lowest test grade with your final exam? It's surprising that people do miss these bonus questions. Don't they, Mr. Butcher? People do miss them.
Yeah.
If you have incomplete assignments and Hubert puts a 0 in for the grade, what will that 0 do to your grade? This actually came out of the mouth of a student at the end of the semester. I didn't know we got a 0 for incomplete grade. I said, yeah, you keep thinking that. It decreases it. These people want to start a revolution. They can't even start a lawnmower. If you miss a question on a test and you believe it is correct, what do you do? This is what y'all do. Y'all want to know what y'all do? Send several emails to Hubert with the last one saying, hello, why am I not responding to your emails? Because that's not what you're supposed to do. What are you supposed to do? What do you think you're supposed to do when you have a challenge question? Really? You're going to all be quiet? You're not going to answer the question? Y'all suck. Ask Hubert if you can meet him after what? Class. That way I can go over the test with you. When does homework terminate? Toward the end of the unit, just like I did just now. If you take several forms of a test in Hubert's class, how is it counted? He takes the highest grade. It's not supposed to bunch them up like this, but this is not an actual test. This is just a preview from the teacher's side. So compute the range for the data set. Find the sample standard deviation. Give a 5-number summary. Those are decimals. Those are not commas. Find the population mean. Why is this question missed?
Because you have to choose between population and sample mean.
And which one is this one?
Sample.
So it would be
X bar.
X bar. That's a chapter 1 question and a chapter 3 question. A random sample of price homes or blah, blah, blah. Comment on the home that had a sale price of $419. Okay, this is just a question about what does this mean, $419? Well, $419, the max is $271. So it seems like to me that's way out there. But I'm going to let you come up with the answer there. Compute the range. Maybe I need to take some of these questions out and put harder questions in. What do y'all think? Compute the range. Determine whether the variable is qualitative or quantitative. Somebody tell me what it is.
Qualitative.
Thank you. If a student does not complete a homework assignment, what grade will be recorded for that assignment? That's for the student. Oh, I didn't know. You know, whatever. Okay, solar energy, the distribution can be bell-shaped. What percentage? This is like empirical rule. A mean of 131 and a standard deviation of what? 10. That's your empirical rule. Maybe I should make this test harder. Now, look at this. You can copy this in Excel. So you should be able to copy it in Excel. I hope you can. And they want a 5-number summary and a box plot. We just went over that. I'm trying to hurry. I know some of y'all are going to explode in about 3 minutes. How is homework, quizzes, and test exam weighed? This is the most missed question of the bonus questions. Why do you think it's most missed? Because people pick 30, 30, 30. Why is 30, 30, 30 never going to be the answer?
Because there are
Only
4
quiz
options.
Because it doesn't what?
Add up to 100.
90.
Doesn't add up to 100. The number one rule of percentages. What should a student do if something happens and if they're out of class for a while? This was a student that had to go, that was forced to go on a cruise. And they could not do the 3rd unit test. And they did not tell me. So what did the computer put in for that test? A 0. When did the student contact me and let me know that they were on a cruise? 1 week after grade turn-in with the helicopter mom. And the helicopter mom went to the department head and got shot down because the department head said your student didn't, your daughter didn't let the teacher know. So communication. Aren't y'all glad that these people are, you know, that incompetent? That way you have more bonus questions. Aren't you glad? Find the sample standard deviation. Although covered in the handouts in the first day of class, what is the best way to communicate with Hubert? Well, it used to be my cell phone, but now it's Teams, which goes to my cell phone also. And what I mean by cell phone, I didn't mean for you to call me on my cell phone. What I meant was everything comes to my cell phone. So no matter how you contact me, it comes to my cell phone. That's what I meant. But anyway, now it's Teams. Best way to contact me is through Teams. United States, the only one with United States in front of it. And it's also in the information sheet that I gave y'all to read, which some of y'all don't. But anyway.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mhm.
Compute the range. Again, I should take some of these ranges off. You can open that in Excel also. An insurance company, 4 cars. We just did this problem. You're welcome. If you look at your overall grade one day and it is decreased from several days ago, what has happened? I will take alpha as an answer, but it's not the correct answer. The correct answer is Charlie. I'm trying to hurry, y'all. I'm trying. Second most missed. Now look at this. The second most missed bonus question. I want somebody to explain to me how you can miss this question. I don't know how you could miss this question unless you're non-sentient. Compute the range. A tennis tournament. Mean of 103 and a standard deviation of 15. They want you to change it into a Z-score, I think. Z-score question. Standardized test method, standard deviation. I think this is, yeah, this is empirical rule. And this is overall grade. And the last one, find the Z-score value of 51, which when the mean is 72 and the standard deviation of 8, they're asking you to compute a Z-score for 51. All right, that's it. Let me check the roll right quick. I think there's only one person in here I need to look at. Hold on. Let me check it right quick, and it's probably logged me out. I hate Tri-County Tech sometimes. This is ridiculous. Let me shut off the presentation and shut off the recorder.